Islam, Sheikh Dwayne Buffalo Bay. Islam, I run Arrington-Bey, your wife. Islam, I've been sleeping all day. It is January the 13th, 2026. I, I've been sleeping all day for the past, so I slept yesterday early and I slept today. I was so tired. Um, I think I did 6 days straight this week. I have to check my calendar, but I'm pretty sure it's either 5 or 6 days straight. So sometimes I do 6 days straight at Whole Foods, and sometimes it's five. But nonetheless, I'm not complaining. I'm very, 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 very happy to do 6 or 5 days straight. I'm happy to be able to work all shifts. That's I'm available. That means I'm available mid shift, opening, and close. And as of today, I have never missed a day at Whole Foods of work. Or when I say work or scheduled time, that's what I want to say. I've never missed one day of scheduled time at Whole Foods. And they rehired me, I think it was the second week of out. Well, my first day was like the first or during the first or second week of January of 2025. I have not missed one scheduled day of work, and I'm very proud of myself because when I first started working at Whole Foods, I was I try to say scheduled. When I first was hired at Whole Foods, I was still at I was still at um, Burger King, employed at Burger King. So me being at Whole Foods and Burger King, I was working. I'm not working. Yeah, I guess employed at two jobs. So I try not to say work. I'm looking for the definition of work more, or trying to use different words. So I would leave Burger King and go straight to Whole Foods. So that was it I did it for that's when I was hired at Whole Foods before in the summertime. That's what I did of 2024. That's what I did as well. But at the time I only was employed for maybe a month at the Department of E-commerce. um, and so, and then I was separated from there, and they said I'm eligible for rehire. So I was rehired in the prepared foods department, and my first week was my first day was during either the first or second week of January 2025. Nonetheless, I've never missed a day. Um, and as of today, which is January the 13th, 2026, at Whole Foods. I think I put in my notice at Burger King after maybe 4 months last year. Um, and I decided to go completely full time, completely with Whole Foods. I was hired full time. So full time. I was employed or hired at a Whole Foods full time. So I was part time at Burger King and full time at Whole Foods. So when I decided to just keep Whole Foods, I put in, not keep or just work or just be employed at one employer. I told Burger King, gave them my notice. I worked out my 2 weeks notice. And the last day of my 2 weeks, it was slow. I asked, could I leave early? I wasn't feeling well. And, and the manager said it was okay. So that was that. So, excuse me, or the assistant manager that was on duty. Let me say that the assistant manager that was on duty. I don't think she was a complete manager yet. So, nonetheless, I am today. I just rested. Still hearing a lot of frequency in this apartment at Crosswinds. Not frequency, but actual accents. My tablet is going very, very slow when I try to use it. Usually the accents are definitely Spanish speaking accent, or I say Spanish speaking, or someone that speaks Spanish um, forced engaging with Imani while he sleep, along with a black Negro male accent. They sound like some type of lab experiment. AI, definitely humanoid AI, because I could tell with the technology and with as my tablet. I apologize. I just woke up and I just ate. My tablet's slowing down, so let me try to finish one thought at a time. Not try, I am. So, black Negro male accent. Still, when I'm in the shower, the black Negro female accent as well. In Annapolis, the accents here, they definitely sound like animalistic, very very animal, beast, non-human AI accents. Um, and that's the predominant ones. And then there, in the past 4 or 5 months, I was noticing the reason why I said Japanese. I post this on or Chinese or Asian because I post this on the Twitter page. It's because the accent sounds similar to what I've heard, and as I'm sleeping, a visual of that looked to be Japanese or Chinese appeared, or when I'm awake, it's like there's a visual cortex, and obviously the United States government, a United States government, the corporation, the one that Trump is the president of, is able to do such things to the human mind and use these lab experiments. The government that Trump is president of, use these lab experiments to attack the human mind and to control and try to subjugate, limit the human mind, thoughts, and divinity. So that's why I and that's a, that that other than the connection with accents and while I'm asleep being forced to engage mentally, here in Annapolis, where the United States obviously unnaturalized. Too many of them. Can't say all, but too way one is too many. Unnaturalized United States Navy, unnaturalized United States Army, the Marines, and the Air Force are prevalent here. They everywhere. They come into Whole Foods all the time. The veterans, they come into Whole Foods. Um, they were coming into Burger King, and some of the people here would have mats in front of their door saying Navy. Also, I noticed, just like at the hotel, when we were living at Extended Stay America, then it switched over to Admiral Suites. That is not driving distance, that is approximately less than 5 minutes away from here. Walking distance, 20 minutes, okay, from here. Um, someone will be walking very loud on above the ceiling in the apartment above the ceiling. So when I get up and I walk, it's like they all of a sudden start walking. So they following me to the bathroom, following me back here. This was happening at the hotel at Extended Stay America, the same hotel where I was staying when as soon as Imani and I came here from we came here in May, the last week of May of 2016. We moved into the hotel around August of 2016. It's like that's all of a sudden not very long after my dreams were being manipulated, and predominantly black Negro males were trying to have sex with me in my dreams. And then after me documenting online black and before black Negro females would just look at me and be like, "He effed you, he effed you," and so I didn't really get I didn't know. I just thought they were demonic. I said they're not. They cannot be human behaving this way, and how they and hearing and seeing what they are able to do. Something is odd with them here in Annapolis. And so getting back, so this, and then hearing the word in accents in the hotel room saying military. I'm trying, when I try to do something spiritual or study astrology or cosmology on my tablet, all of a sudden something that says that's connected to the military, like a advertisement with AA. I think their Navy credit union or some other form of connection to the military will pop up on my tablet. So and so when someone would walk above me and on the next floor above, it was I would definitely hear the word military. I wrote a letter to the hotel manager at Extended Stay America, and then it was switched over to Admiral Suites about it, and about someone also um, taking the cover, the spread from the hotel room. Imani and I, we noticed this because we had to walk. We walked the same path to get to Burger. I was still employed at Burger King. This was between 2018 or 2017, 2018, 20. So we moved there at the hotel August of 2016. So someone took the spread of the hotel, put it on the side of the road, and when I walked by, I would hear possibly someone say "lay down" or something like that. So, so we are among some real animals here, beast. The accents in the apartment when Imani goes and take a shower, a black Negro male accent would say brother, and while he's in there taking a shower, and I could hear the same accent in black Negro female speak of saying she loved my son, or the Spanish speaking male accent, like if when he walks in or get ready to leave out to go to Wendy's, would say brother, or start talking, saying amigo, whatever, as in to let me know that it's following Imani or engaging with Imani while he's walking, engaging his body and his body shield while he's walking. So this is still going on as of today, January 13th, 2026. I was experiencing four sharp pains so much around my head while I sleep, while a black Negro female accent was speaking in this hotel room. Not saying she's the only one, because there's pale skins too. The reason why I didn't speak so much about pale skins is not because they're not involved. They are. They're very much involved. But I think it was important. It's important for me to speak the truth about the melanated, because I'm not accusing you, Dwayne, but I just think you and others. I'm not accusing you with a negative intention of why. That's what I want to say. But I just think you and other Moors and others don't speak enough about the black Negro, African American, or melanated unclean spirits, demonic spirits, bodies, the black kids that are growing up to be generational rapists, that are growing up because that's all they have seen, generational harm and abusers, generational weapons, because these are weapons we are among. These are United States military weapons of a government, a United States military weapons. Imani Gray Bay and I, Rhonda Renee Arrington-Bey, are among here in Annapolis that are adept in manipulating and abusing the mind, the body, and in any other form of necessity that a human may need, or a celestial human may need to navigate and live their life as well as possible, which is in the preamble of the Constitution of 1787. So these are weapons. These are controlled, taught, military weapons. I can't say they're all controlled because I think they're getting out of control to a point where they're gonna have to do something about them because people are I'm not gonna even say anything else. I'm not gonna be here in Annapolis. Imani and I, we're not gonna be here in Annapolis, so that's all it is to it. So anyway, so there are weapons. There are definitely weapons. So when I get up to go to the shower or get up, so I'm hearing noise while I'm taking a shower still. It's definitely black Negro male and female saying brother. And as though, or some, or the Spanish speaking male be like, that's your husband, or as though it's trying to demonstrate some form of pimping or master of like some type of slave master, saying that's your husband. The word three is still being spoken. So getting back to what I was saying, let me slow down a little bit. Some of all of a sudden the Crosswinds apartment employees came out and looked like they trying. This is like right when I started to speak on the tablet. There, I don't know if you see, but they look like they're cleaning the pool. Well, I can only assume they're crosswinds because they have a jacket on and they have the pool and it looks like he's cleaning the pool. This is after I started the video, maybe 10 minutes, maybe right after I started the video and started talking about this. So also I noticed there's an implication because we keep these windows up, these blinds up at all times. Um, that possibly some might be that comes into or connected to Whole Foods. I'm not sure, and definitely Burger King. I'm not sure. I can't say, but there's an implication that they are actually watching or have possibly, just like something has possibly been a apartment above us to walk back and forth to induce more mental abuse, to induce more form, if possible, of fear as I get up, um, possibly are trying to demonstrate how they are watching Imani and I as we rest here. I don't, maybe someone, maybe apartment that's over. So this is how the apartments look here. So if I'm experiencing, I'm not accusing Crosswinds Apartments, but if I'm experiencing the same accents and frequency in the apartment that I did, and Imani is experiencing the same attacks as he did while he's sleeping, as though they're trying to make him into a homosexual male, because the female that keeps saying "I love your son," the Black Negro female accent, it seems to get angry. And then all of a sudden, a Spanish male accent will start speaking in the apartment, and then a Black Negro male accent. These are definitely some form of AI lab experiment weapon that a United States government is controlling. Um, that President Trump is the president over. So if I'm still experiencing the same form of stalking and war tactics, because that when you're warring upon someone, it doesn't have to be a country that a United States government can war upon. When you're dealing with weapons of mass destruction, like 9/11 was a war tactic. That was definitely a situation of war. But instead, a United States government said it was an act of terrorism. The terrorism was not that was not an act of terrorism. That was war. That was war when thousands of people were killed during 9/11. And it was war when after 9/11 people died from what they experienced and all the particles they inhaled, um, from the act of 9/11 that killed them and destroyed their health. It was a war tactic during Hurricane Katrina, when obviously, um, I would say it the people that gave testimony that the levees were blown, I would say 99.9% are speaking the truth. And just like we are among humanoid AI now, we were among humanoid AI during 9/11 and Hurricane Katrina. And the levees, I think 99.9%, I think they were speaking the truth then. They were blown, and they were blown to kill and destroy the people that were there, and that's what happened. And just like we are among telepathic animals now, the dog, a lot of people have dogs here. So if you're dealing with animals, humanoid lab experiments that focus on sex as a war tactic, to rape as a war tactic, molestation as a war tactic, because this is what they're trained. This is what they've been trained to do. Then to have um, animals, and they have dogs with a code. You know they're having sex with the dogs. That was I 25 years ago, that there were many reports on this landmass of people, even hundreds and thousands, I mean hundreds and hundreds of years ago, of people having sex with animals, bestiality, sheep, goats, animals. So you know, if the dog has a human intellect and is able to communicate and behave more human, you know, they just loving having the dog and other animals into having some form of sexual relations with them. Um, and I'm not saying all, but too many. And getting back to Hurricane Katrina, if animals have if the dog and other animals have the telepathic code, you know, the alligators had telepathic codes. And so, as being as a war tactic to blow up the levees, to kill, so they some reports were over 10,000. And then after they found refuge, so let me finish. So you know, the alligators had the code, so they knew how to not only, alligators, animals, predators are smart without the code, but with the code, they know how to go after the prey, the people that are trying to survive or walk in the water. So you can only imagine the feasting that the alligators um, were involved in during Hurricane Katrina. And then after that, when the people found, and these were predominantly blacks, or the Moors that were under the status of blacks, Indians, black Indians that were under the status of blacks. So after that, when they found refuge in the Superdome, they had to deal with that which they were among, raping and murdering them. That was a complete form of war tactic. Then after that, there was reports that when they had the trailers, the the trailers for help, to keep them that the government gave them so that they can be prepared to be able to live again. There are reports that the trailers were filled with poison, some type of poisonous paint, or so. That was like a form of extermination almost. And unless and then those that survived, if they weren't transferred, they probably died later, transformed. Because there is a form of war tactic that a United States government is using to transform humans, transform their consciousness to a transhuman. So if they weren't transformed into something else, they probably died. These are war tactics that a United States government has used, that President Trump is the president over. Okay, so um, getting back to what I was saying, finishing off, where when I get up, someone just like hearing the word military here, um, this is beyond acts of terrorism. This is way beyond acts of terrorism. These are war tactics upon natural citizens, inhabitants on this landmass. It's beyond acts of terrorism. The act of terrorism is trying to scare someone. That is true. But when you start implementing forms of harm to destroy and kill someone, that is beyond the word act of terrorism. That is war that a United States government is doing upon the people on this landmass and the indigenous and beings on this landmass. And those who might not be indigenous, like some of the pale skin that immigrated over here and other immigrants, but are here and really truly understand what we are among, and the importance of the constitutional laws of freedom and other laws of freedom that we are, of natural divine laws of freedom. So we are definitely among a United States government that are terrorists, and that has been and have chosen to act to war, place war upon, or what's the word, warring upon the citizens on this landmass. Sometimes I think about how the lab animals that was raping and murdering the survivors of Hurricane Katrina that was in the Superdome, how they were even able to get, how were so many able to get in there? Because one report said people, when they interviewed the people, they said at night is when it really got bad. During the day, you see the military outside the Superdome as though they're helping them. But some of the survivors gave testimony that at night it wasn't that way. And people were still trying to survive and not be raped and murdered. So isn't that what I am experiencing here in Annapolis with the United States military being prevalent, giving testimony about my dreams being manipulated, where predominantly black Negro males trying to, and Spanish speaking. The most recent was a Spanish speaking male, or it could be from Pakistan, that black hair, brown skin look, or Indian or something. But I think on Spanish speaking, they keep saying the bird man, attacking my genital, trying to cause me to have my genitals to have an orgasm. Okay, so what's the difference with what happened in Hurricane Katrina than what I'm experiencing and what Imani is experiencing now in a city like Annapolis, where the United States military is prevalent, the Navy, the Army, the Marines, the Air Force, and the so-called veterans. So when I was looking at my statement sheet, Dwayne Baflabe, I was so surprised to see the code FUCK1 under a payment that I did, which was from a credit card that I paid off, because health is one way to war upon someone. The mind is another way, which is connected to health. But then it's financial too. And so you have to be financial balanced to navigate as a naturalized human being on this landmass, which I am a naturalized Moor, and so is Imani Gray Bay. I'm Rhonda Renee Arrington-Bey. We're naturalized Moor. We have affirmed to uphold the United States Constitution of 1787, the 13th Amendment with 20 sections, all four of Abraham Lincoln's proclamations. So, in that, we have affirmed to uphold the frequencies of the spirits of freedom. In Annapolis, is a program is constantly these AI during the night, just like you hear when I'm taking a shower, the noise in the shower, Imani, the noise in the shower, keeps saying, he sold you, Spanish speaking. We paid, um, black Negro, female, they sold you, um, and so forth, predominantly, but the pale skin here are very much involved. I don't focus so much on the pale skin, getting back to that thought. It's because I don't think not saying you have a negative reason why you don't, or other Moors or others that demonstrate that are melanated, demonstrate to be on a higher thought, speak enough about the unclean, demonic, filthy spirits that are melanated. In Africa, they learned, and they used to have or they spoke of tribal wars, where tribes will war against one another. So it wasn't a program for them to say, because you're black or you look dark like me, that you're the same like me, and that you need to that we are the same and we need to stick together. That wasn't the program in Africa. The program here is that way. And I think it's that way for reasons that are spiritual, along and also physical. Because I think when you're dealing with spirituality, you have to be acknowledgeable of the filth of demonic spirits that tend to be in the bodies of blacks as well as pale skins and so forth. Through the years, it was always the pale skinned devil that many blacks were programmed to be cautious of, because of the what history demonstrated what they were involved in the lynching, raping, stealing, and so forth. And I'm not saying that the history is wrong and saying that that was not the case. What I'm saying is that we don't speak enough about the transformation of humans, of and that the history of blacks, or those that look to be black, being involved as well, and murdering, raping, and so forth. And that same spirit, demonic spirit, is still in them. It's in the code, it's in them, and it's in the agenda. And I think the reason why I am able to do so, because this is why I'm here to, this is why I came to do in this lifetime, so that the spirit of truth can be brought forth, and that the next step of what needs to be done will be done. And so that those that are listening on a higher spiritual level can literally see the intentions of why so many lie and allow the transformation of so many Moors to happen. And so that's the karma that those, if their hearts are not pure and their intentions are not well, would have to deal with. I think on mass level of, I don't even want to. I don't even want to think about it, because that's a lot of bloodshed. That's a lot of bloodshed on someone's hands, because they chose to not do what was right in reference to honoring the covenants of the Most High. So, and so I'm thankful that even though I experienced a lot, like I was getting ready to say before I switched to the next sentence, I'm going to articulate this thought. A black Negro female kept speaking in the middle of the night, and I kept experiencing four sharp pains. Once again, pale skins are involved in this too. It's just, once what we hear are the black Negro and that which speaks Spanish predominantly. The pale skin weapon, okay, that's not that the humanoid AI lab animal is definitely much involved here in Annapolis. There is a difference. There is a difference. I mean, some of them, they look very nice, the pale skin. They look like they have money or whatever, but they are literally transformed lab something. Okay, literally, they look like that presentable pale skin. What we used to say, white American, living American dream. But they are literally pale skin animals. Okay, pale skin lab animals, trying to demonstrate themselves and maintain a status through visualization, because using visualization and different forms of trickery, but they literally are beasts and animals, no different than any other beast or animal that, whether it's black, Negro, from Pakistan, India, Africa, because we have a lot of immigrants from Africa that are involved here in Annapolis, other immigrants and so forth, because a lot of them are connected to the military. That's the connection, the military and the police. I was experiencing a lot of four sharp pains around my head at night, like I have experienced many times when I'm sleeping, in different parts of my body. My entire face on this side, swole up. My eyes swole up so bad. And the black Negro male was saying brother and so forth, as though trying to subjugate. So what's the difference once again? So why would the lab freaks be in the Superdome during Hurricane Katrina? It sounded like to me, if the military was outside demonstrating themselves as they trying to help during the day, but at night the people were suffering inside and trying to survive from being raped and murdered, it sounded like there was some form of subjugation, some form of um, order that was called to do, or order, a military order to subjugate the rest of the people there. Make sure that, or whatever, or make sure they, whatever's there inside, be careful what they say, and be careful. Just be careful. Period. When they walk out of there, that's what it sounds like to me. So, and that's what I'm. So that's the similarities of what I'm experiencing here in Annapolis. So I am thankful that I have courage and bravery to speak about the beast here in Annapolis, because it's not just in Annapolis. There are many cities that have these. Sometimes I wonder in Louisiana if the people knew, were they like mentally manipulated to think, when they knew that a lab animal, a lab or transhuman black, they were among, to say, to be accepting of them. Okay. See, this is also trickery and a war tactic. And so if you are taught to love them, okay, love them, and be accepting of everyone that's around you that's not like you, but you're not taught their true nature. You're not taught about the program that they have that can be switched on at any moment to kill you, rape you, destroy you. You only taught that, try to um, coexist with them and love them, then and let them love you. But you're not taught about the true nature of the beast, and the program, that literal program, that's just like that could be in the telepathic code, that could be switched on at any moment by a form of the United States government for that lab humanoid AI or other lab experiments to kill, rape, and destroy you. You're not taught about that, but you're taught about the other part, about love, 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 you know. um, and then and allowing to, and then eventually have sex with them and breed with them, but you're not talking about anything else about the true nature of the beast. That's something to think about. So when I saw that, getting back to Bank of America, one of the codes had FUCK1 next to a payment I made towards my credit card. That was connected to financial war tactic, because the humanoid AI was obviously, I did not even know these things exist until I came here, was it obviously has been involved. That's Black Negro and other Pelicans that's trying to sex traffic and take over the mind and body of the Imani Gray Bay and Ironde Arrington-Bey for years. Um, Wanted to demonstrate, like they do with many that are here, that that they are sex trafficking me somehow. So I don't think it would. I don't think it was in their intentions for me to see that code. That just so happened that if Bank of America used humanoid AI, would be able to pick up and see the code as well. You see. So how many codes do bank? I'm not accusing Bank of America, but how many codes? Because I know humanoid AI might not might not even be connected to Bank of America, but are able to see codes. Okay, so AI might not humanoid AI does not have to be connected to Crosswinds Apartments, but are able to see what's going on with other humanoid AI that's here in Annapolis or that may be at Crosswinds Apartments. Not accusing Crosswinds. So if humanoid AI is demonstrating sex trafficking tactics through codes of different forms of statements or electronics. Like that was an electronic the um, paperwork because I was online. It was online, so I'm looking online to make sure the payment went through and everything's okay. And my code was FUCK1, which I have given testimony about hearing that word oddly for years. Then they don't need to be particularly connected to an institution to do this. And this is all over this landmass. So if you are having sex with in front of any form of technology, walking around naked in front of any form of technology, where humanoid AI doesn't necessarily have to be um, in the United on this landmass, but they could be from Pakistan. They could be in Pakistan, India, some of the places that a United States government have allowed the immigrants to come here, get businesses, and prosper, and send money back to their land, send money back to wherever they come from. So if you're from Pakistan and India, and you humanoid AI, you can see people having sex through different forms of satellites. A TV is a satellite, and there you go. You can bid on, and if you know if that person has the telepathic code or how to manipulate the mind and cause that person to feel sexual and so forth, and the young teenagers and the young adults, you can definitely use that as a form of sex trafficking, and watch, and then put your money and go back and forth that way. If it's a humanoid AI that's in Arabia, Dubai, other Iran, Iraq, what some other countries, China. You see how many? I mean, Chinese. They came over here. They have done so well. I mean, they done really. I mean, Chinese people. Where it's questionable if they even have if how many that are not how much of China is not digital, whether it's human or non-human. How much is not digital is the question. Now they have been coming over here for a while, and you see Chinese restaurant, Chinese own this, Chinese own that. They're now taking over the farmland. I mean, China is like literally taking over the farmland, and other Japan, a lot of foreigners are here. So if the humanoid AI from China, Japan, or what's another place, or even Africa, not even, but Africa, because you have immigrants from Africa, other places. If they are able to send different codes through different forms of banking institutions, in reference to whether it's a shooting, sex, molestation, transforming the minds and bodies, whatever it may be, that is human trafficking. That's human trafficking on mass levels, with a United States government allowing it, which President Trump is the president supposedly over the United States corporation, the government. He's not the only president. I mean, before him was another president. Before him was another president. So it's just him this time. So so I it's interesting to see um how much of the TV is involved in human trafficking, the satellite, the TV, and those in that which is um, involved, and also in transforming humans. It's really interesting to see this and the programs that is deliberately done. So getting back to what I was saying about the code. Let me hold on one moment. Being forced to engage by Lab Freak here in Annapolis. And so when you have, because one of the things I was thinking, oh, they could be from El Salvador. I forgot to say El Salvador, Mexico, so forth. When you have immigrants behaving bold, I mean, where they should be humble on a landmass like this one, especially with Trump, so so-called putting ICE out there and so forth. Um, I think they are behaving bold because they are demonstrating a truth of Trump and that which um, use um, the ignorance or the subjugation of those that are on this landmass to to um, to their advantage. So right now, people are suffering. They're really hoping that Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency, that those that have been doing it for a while, hoping that it rises so that it could be a transform of wealth. And then there's some who just found out about Bitcoin cryptocurrency, or they're just getting into it. But nonetheless, they really, people have been suffering financially for a long time. And not only that, if they have been amalgamated in that system with humanoid AI, with their kids, I want to say children that have the telepathic code. They have the telepathic code, and they are experiencing spiritual, mental engagement, rape, molestation. They have allowed themselves their freedom to be taken from them. Some because of subjugation and fear, and some because they didn't think there was that's what they've been amalgamated in. They Now they're hoping, even though they might not believe in Trump, okay, they might have enough of their true sense and not program to believe, to know truth, that Trump is not a savior, okay, with Bitcoin. This is something that's being implemented for further on to open the door for more humanoid AI control over the human mind, or what's left of the human mind. What's left of the human mind. Humanoid AI, I say humanoid AI because these are AI that have been experiments that have taken from the human, the consciousness of humans, and they have used them to make them be extraordinary because of what they have stolen from humans. Their intelligence, our intelligence, and they use different forms of science to make an AI. So if you have been subjugated and didn't even realize you were being subjugated, but you've seen so much, you know so much, all you see is harm, molestation. All you have is saying that you're a Mason. So hopefully, by saying you're a Mason, you are able to keep a job. You are able to feed your family. By saying you three, by allowing AI to have sex with your children or molest your children, because you know they because they because it's a pale skin AI. So if you living in a 500 million of you living in $1 million neighborhood, and there's pale skin humanoid AI there, you might say, well, at least it's the pale skin humanoid AI that F me or has sex with me or had sex with my child, my teenager, and not one of the blacks, not one of the black humanoid AI, or not one of the Mexicans, or not one of the El Salvador, or oh my goodness, at least it wasn't one of the Muslims. All the while, the Muslims, so-called Muslim countries, are watching you have sex with humanoid AI anyway through technology, through the TV, the tablets, and so forth. And you being sex trafficked because they all working together. It might be difficult for you to accept truth that Bitcoin right now is a temporary band-aid. It's opening a door for humanoid AI and other AI to have complete control of what's left of natural, of human being, of the human mind. That's what I see. So this is where the connection with finances with me. Most of my, a lot of my testimony have been because I'm having issues with employers here in Annapolis because of that is the connection to finance. So the humanoid AI is not able to have sex with me and the money. So if they're not able to penetrate me and the money, they're going to try to make it hard for me to have, or money to have some form of financial balance. See, it's all the same. It's all connected. So I hope this message gets to you. I'm going to be sending you email, sending you videos, like not so much like this one, but just saying hi, what's up, how you doing. The swelling has gone down a lot at Sheet Dwayne Baffle Bay. My eye was like this. It was like closed, like you would think I had one big eye and like this. And I still went to Whole Foods. I still went to Whole Foods and I still maintained. And then they kept sending four sharp pains through my cranium, all because they're not able to penetrate Imani and I sexually and trans